Alright, everybody, welcome back to CC1 in black and white. We are on level 51 Ice Slide, which is going to be a pretty easy level. So let's just jump right into it. I'm just going to solve this the way I've always solved it and just go in every single direction when I land on a floor tile. Even if I oof, I don't care. Alright, so that branch is completely explored. So the bottom square is done. That path led nowhere. And that leads nowhere. Okay, so this branch is also done. So I hope you all are having a wonderful day. I just got done recording a Joshi video, and it was an utter mess. Some nonsense happened with OBS that I had to deal with on camera, which was a little frustrating, for lack of a better word. But thankfully I managed to figure it out, so it shouldn't happen with this Let's Play. But overall, played some good levels in there today. I just have a lot of editing work to do that I am prolonging because I wanted to do a black and white recording today as well. Okay, this path just goes absolutely nowhere. Nice, fun little ice level. Oh, and that just looped around there. Okay, well, let's go up on this path. I think this, yeah, it leads that way. I think this leads to another chip right here. Going down, I think just oofs you. Yep. I think going left does the same as well. Yep. Okay. So the level I made out of this for Walls of CC1 was actually, I think, pretty unique. Okay, that doesn't go nowhere. So what I did was I turned all the ice corners into forest floors. I tried to be consistent with the forest floors. Oh, hey, we got all the chips. Cool. And pointing the right direction. And then the rest of the level became green doors. And I made it one big level where you had a green key and you had to navigate it through a bunch of blocks to collect the 13 chips that did not change their placement. Even the socket didn't change its placement, or the exit for that matter. Pretty fun stuff. Ice Slide was pretty interesting to work with for a template, but I think what I made with it is pretty cool. Alright, the last laugh. Okay, we gotta do this awkward timing thing. Alright. This level has always been a weird one to me. I've never really known what they were going for with it, and I don't remember what I'm even meant to do here. don't think you use it to block the fireball path, do you? I guess you can. No reason not to. Okay, so now we just need to do this again.
Bummer.
And boost right into the bug. Cool stuff. Cool beans. Yeah, I'm not sure what the developers of the game were intending with this level. It's just kind of weird. Oh, hey, they do end up dying. Alright, whatever. I've never understood this level. It's always been a weird one to me. But nonetheless, we move on. Traffic cop. Make those pesky monsters follow a path to the door trigger. How about I do you a solid level and I instead just go press it myself. I can't believe the oversight with that in both rule sets. Like, it looks like you have to do it in links, but even links you can get away with that. Easy stuff. So Traffic Cop was an interesting level that I made a Walls Love level out of. I made Desert Bloom. I basically replaced the water with gravel, replaced this exit formation with I think blobs on traps, and where the walkers clone, I made trap buttons that led to the exit. And the whole premise was to guide blobs to bombs throughout the level. I'm really happy with it. Some people don't care for it because it's a blob level. Like a lot of players are pretty quick to dunk on blob levels just because it's a blob level. But it is what it is. All right, Grail. We're gonna have to do this only one time, thankfully. Stop going left. Stop going left. Thank you. And of course you give me 2. Alright, another weird level. I think that's the theme of the 50s decade in this set. It's just a bunch of weird levels. Because you got The Last Laugh, and you got Traffic Cop, then you got this level, which I think is the weirdest one of them all in CC1, to be honest. And we just do that. Cool. No deaths added. Potpourri.
Bummer.
Oh. Not what I expected there. Well, knowing that, let's get the key first. Then the fire boots. Another pair of fire boots for some reason. And don't even need to get that chip because there's extras for some reason. Alright, potpourri done. Not too bad. Deep freeze. Ah, yes, deep freeze. My favorite walls of level. Not really. I think it's down this path you have to go. Yeah, deep freeze was a template I got stuck with. But I think what I made out of deep freeze was okay. I made a level called Antifreeze Factory. And it's basically just I was mostly inspired by many of Jeffrey's levels where there's a stream of monsters that you have to follow. Or not follow, but you have to avoid throughout going through the level. I don't really make levels like that, so that was mostly why I went with it. Okay, we gotta figure out what way to go for... I don't think it really matters. I think they all lead to this button. Yep. And I'm just gonna backwards boost. I don't care. Narrowly dodged the ball there. That would have been hilarious if I if I landed on the ball from that backwards boost. But thankfully that didn't happen. Was it the middle one? It was the middle one, wasn't it? Yep. Okay. Alright. Deep freeze done. Strange maze. Not as pretty as it looks in color. But you know what? I like that they made a level like this in CC1. I mean, does anyone else feel that way? I mean, yeah, it's a maze, but they made it decorative. And I've always liked that. I always wished that Strange Maze rewarded you with a bunch of keys and a bunch of, like, all the boots and stuff so you can traverse all the boundaries that were there as you navigated through the maze. At least you can do that with the sockets. And once you get all the chips, you can break through the socket walls that are part of the maze on the left side. And honestly, Strange Maze was a big inspiration to why Frozen Labyrinth exists, believe it or not. I've never really talked about it, but a large reason why Frozen Labyrinth exists is because of Strange Maze. Because if you notice, you know, it's using all these, you know, tiles for different formations of walls and stuff. But one of the tiles it lacks is ice, because you can't really use ice as a wall unless you put a bunch of thin walls around it. And that's honestly how it Frozen Labyrinth came to be. And if you look at Josh L2, if you skim through the set, you can kind of see hints of Frozen Labyrinth becoming a thing. Because I made yet another strange maze in Josh L2, which is also level 57. And in the bottom right of that level was a little snippet of what would become Frozen Labyrinth. And I think this was also seen in a level not too far afterward called Closed Track, where the top left corner had some bit of Frozen Labyrinth-ness. And then, of course, not too long after that level is Frozen Labyrinth itself. And the only reason why I'm telling you this is because I'm playing Strange Maze. And I'm having fun playing it. Alright, one more chip to go. And it's up there. Fortunately, not going to be breaking through the sockets, but I guess I can just for fun, right? As far as the Walls of CC1 take of this level template goes, I think what VT made was okay. Chimes.wave never gets old, man. Never gets old. Yeah, I think what VT made out of Strange Maze was okay. I kind of felt a little... I couldn't help but feel a tad little disappointed with what he made with it. But I think what he made with it was okay. I definitely would have done something way different and honestly a little easier than what he did. But that's just my opinion of it. It's still a fine level. Loop around. Another weird one for the books. Okay, so we're just going to go for the flippers right away. So the cool thing about this level is that we absolutely had to take advantage of was the fact that there were letters formed in this level, but it wasn't a Scyther level. So when JB got this template, he made Elemental Scyther and used the dung letters as the password. And I'm really glad he took up that opportunity because it felt like too good to pass up. I like the random thief there. Alright, we're going to have to go back through it again. Interesting thing is you don't have to use the flippers for this one. Alright, take another trip through the wild ride we're going on. I don't like this timing. Yeah, because I don't want to run into that ball. But there are the last 2 chips. And we can just exit the level. Alright, loop around completed. Hidden danger. Pretty weird template. I'm just gonna go straight for... I'm just gonna go straight for the bust on this one. I always like this random string of thin walls right here. Oop. Nice try. Alright, hidden danger is done. I made a level called Handed Red Gin, I think it's called, which is just an anagram of hidden danger. And it's kind of Paramecia themed, mostly. It was an okay level. I kind of got stuck with the template after VTE had to dip out from the project. Because I think he was supposed to get it originally. I don't remember. Alright, Scoundrel. We're absolutely going to take advantage of this. Come on. It's just not pushing me down. There we go. I'm doing it, man. I'm taking advantage of every bust I can now. If I can do it, I'm going to. Monster Lab I couldn't do, and I think 3 Doors I didn't do just because I was oblivious when I think I was both oblivious and just too tired to think about doing it when I played it. But busts like Hidden Danger and Scoundrel are honestly hilarious that they left in. Yeah, well, Scoundrel is just unfortunate for MS. It's not like this in Lynx, but yeah. So with that solved, we have officially reached 1,000,000 points on the score. And we have hit the next decade message. Chip hits the ice and decides to chill out. Then he runs into a fake wall and turns the maze into a thrash-a-thon. And that brings us to Rink. This level is going to take a little bit of time, which is kind of why I'm not upset about utilizing some busts. So all the focus can go on a long level like this. I have not played Rink in quite some time. Oh, can collect that. Okay, that's a dead end. As is that. Okay. And so is that. And so is that. So since I got through Scoundrel so quickly, I guess I can briefly explain what I did with it in Walls of CC1. I retained all the real blue walls and replaced them with green doors, and I made the greenhouse effect out of the level. And it was actually made for a design competition, a level create competition that I submitted for. I submitted that one and Monotonous Monarchy. which I think is the weaker of the two I made. It didn't win, unfortunately. But I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. The whole premise was it just uses green tiles, which are surprisingly limited, I learned. Okay, I guess I could have gotten that chip earlier, huh? Let's go back and get it. No, I guess I can't go that way. As all I had to work with was force floors, green keys, doors, toggle walls, toggle buttons, blobs, and teeth. I think that was literally all I had to work with for the level. Okay, making some pretty decent progress on this. Okay, we're kind of at that point where a lot of these walls are going to end up being fake. Okay, finally got that one. That's a dead end. Okay, so I need to get that one from below, I think. Right, so this is the end of the path. How weird is this? Oh, I can go right there. Okay, so that has to be approached from, I think, the top. Yeah, it's definitely the top. So that chip will be for last, because that's on the way to the exit. Let's see. I need to break through this right here. Oh, I could have earlier, and I just didn't do that. Yeah, I think that's the end of the road for this path. Yeah, I'm pretty committed to moving on. Okay, so I know there's one... Ooh, okay, we got a path this way. Okay, that's a dead end. Okay, maybe it was actually this way. Okay, one chip left. That's by the exit. I know exactly where it's at. And you can see by the squares around the tiles, those are the fake walls. So you can kind of see I haven't cleared them all yet. If I can just get to where the exit's at, which I think is from below. Yeah, it's definitely through that path below. Now, how do I get out of this? That is the question. Aha. There we go. Got it. Rink is done. Didn't take too long, actually. I remember this being a struggle when I was younger, but did not take that long at all. Unfortunately, I have no idea how long exactly it did take me, but you can probably figure that out based off the timer down there. Alright, slow-mo. This is the template I used for after the dust storm.
Bummer.
Oh, man. Wow, right there. You had to get me right there, huh? Alright. I actually don't know if I have to do that previous and next command. Ooh, there's a lot of blobs. Alright, yeah, we got it here. Alright, that was dumb. Dumb way to die. So what I did with this template was I used the blank strips of wall that were in the level, and I turned those into... Actually, I'd have to, like, compare them. But I turned the toggle wall checkerboard into dirt and appearing walls. I kept some of the original teeth and blobs just for, you know, reference purposes. And pretty much built a pretty basic linear variety level out of it. Originally, I made a level called Pollution out of this template. I think it was that. Where it was pop-up walls and appearing walls, which you've probably seen from CCLP5's Smoke Inhalation. Unfortunately, that wasn't a very nice level to play, and that was scrapped for what was replaced with After the Dust Storm, which was way, way better. Alright, Block Factory. Another template I ended up using. And another weird one, honestly. But I'm going to solve it the way I have always solved this level. like so. This is a template I used to make Eskimo roll out of. Whoa, that was close. That was really close, man. Holy crap. Yeah, I took advantage of the PW part of this template and made a cool little intro, and then I used the big open space where all the forest floors are as like a ball guiding section. It's pretty cool. I recently made some changes to it to be a little nicer, which are coming very soon. JB and I are currently discussing a big Walls of CC1 update to release. Alright, spooks. Not a template I had myself, but I think what JB did with it is pretty cool. It's funny, you know, when I started doing this Let's Play, I didn't really intend on talking about Walls of CC1 that much, but I kind of am now. I guess it just feels natural to do so. It's like, you know, it's a relevant set. I might as well talk about it, right? I always loved this level. Finding the path to avoid the teeth being released was always a fun thing to do. I kind of wish CC2 had levels like this. Where it just had like this maze where there were like floor mimics or something. Like one of the new monsters they added. But floor mimics are kind of memey anyway. I know I'm doing some CC1 content, so some of you are probably wondering if I'm going to do CC2 content as well. And the answer to that is I'm not 100% sure. I still haven't completed CC2 LP1. I tried streaming it. I'm just going to blast through these paths to exit. I tried streaming it a couple of times. I even started a brand new save score file to start fresh with to stream off of, and I think I streamed like 60 levels or something. I can't remember how much I streamed actually. It was years ago, and I just never picked it up again. Just life happened, man. You know, it got in the way, and I just forgot all about it. I don't know if I want to do a Let's Play of it necessarily. I guess I could. But nothing concrete yet. I can't say when it would happen. If it even does. Alright, Amsterdam is one of the coolest levels in this whole set. Big fan. I'm a big Amsterdam enjoyer. Like, the concept of this is just so simple. You know, just push a block inward to get a chip. But I think what makes this level so cool is just the vibe. Like, you actually do kind of feel like you're in like a city, a winter city. Now, I've never been to Amsterdam, so I don't really know if it being cold there is accurate, but it's a cool little level. I use a lot of this template for World of 1,000 Flames, and because of that, I didn't use it for Walls of CC1. I was more than happy to give someone else a chance to use it, like JB did. Wow, we forgot a whole path, a whole branched path. A couple of branch paths I missed. Wow. That's alright. I'm not quite done playing this level. And JB made something pretty cool out of Amsterdam. Alright, we got one chip left. I am once again a one-chip Andy, and there it is. So I just have to go up from this point, huh? Alright. Yeah, especially with the music that usually played on this level when I played it as a kid. I think it was always the Canyon mid song. Because it was every 3 levels the songs would cycle. It would be Canyon, then it would be Chip 1, and then Chip 2, and then it would cycle back to Canyon. At least for me. I can't speak for other people, but Canyon was part of the soundtrack in Chip's Challenge when I played it as a kid, and I do distinctly remember Canyon played on this level, which just added to the experience, honestly. Alright, Victim. A really weird level once again. Try to avoid a death if I can.
Bummer.
Yep. Didn't really work out that way.
Bummer.
I'm not sure what happened there.
Bummer.
Okay, I guess we're just gonna be adding numbers to the count now, aren't we? Let's just do that just to play it safe.
Bummer.
All right, I'm not doing this to be funny. I swear. I am. All right, let's just wait a second. There we go. That's what I was trying to do the whole time. I don't think I need to add 3 deaths to that, but, you know, it's whatever. Alright, Chip Mine. The level I've been somewhat looking forward to. Let's see how much I remember this pathing. I know I'm oofing. I know I oofed a lot. But I know that path went all the way down. And I think around here is where you can branch. Yeah, right there. And zigzag like that. I remember a lot of chips were accessible down here. Okay, I think that's it. I think this one we approach right there. I think those two chips are accessed somewhere else. I know that path just kind of exists for some reason. Kind of interesting that path had two chips. Do I have to go down right here? I do. Alright, this goes all the way to the top. I remember it zigzags like this. See, my memory isn't all that bad. Certain things just want to stick in your head. Okay, I can't remember if there was other paths down here. Nope, okay. Couldn't remember. That's one of the only bits I don't remember about Chip Mine. Oh yeah, it was like this. That path is to the exit. Oh yeah, this one also has a dead-end path as well. And this one has a big ol' loop. Yeah, he said the thing, big ol' loop, big ol' room. Alright, Chip Mine is completed. Still a fun level to play. I love Chip Mine. Blue wall levels have always been a joy to play. I mean, it's pretty well-known facts at this point. Eeny, miny, mo. So a little bit of history, or Walls of CC1 history that I feel should be discussed. So when it was originally me, JB, and VT working on it, the original arrangement of levels was 48 levels each, and then the remaining 5 levels would be collaborations. Eeny Miny Mo was one of those collaborations between the 3 of us. There was the 5 collabs were 2 of them were all 3 of us. One of them was me and JB. One of them was JB and VT, and the third one was me and VT. Just so each duo had a chance to work with one another. I'm going to do the trap room first. I feel like that's going to be the problematic one. There you go, let's just shove you right there. And cause all sorts of chaos.
Bummer.
And just die because of it. Yeah, see, that's how I wanted to do it first. I knew something was going to happen. A little bit of a bummer. You have to get the green key first. But that is okay. But yeah, this was supposed to be one of the templates that me, JB, and VT were all going to work on together. The original plan was each of us was going to have one section of Eeny, Miny, Mo. I'm just going to push that over the block. I don't care. I'm not playing links. And the original section I was going to work with was this spiral section. And I forget what the other sections... I forget who was going to get the other sections. I think VT was going to get the top one and JB the left one. I'm not 100% sure, though. But that was the original idea. Unfortunately, that didn't pan out because VT had stuff to tend to in his life and couldn't dedicate any time to build new stuff. Alright, we're just going to block that off. Whoa, they all went up there. That is not the direction I expect them to go in. Wow. I really did it to myself, didn't I? Any more of you? Okay, good. You're gonna come in here and make my life bad. Except I'm gonna send you right back. Let's just put that there, just in case. Actually, we can do it like that. So JB ended up getting Eeny, Miny, Mo all for himself, which honestly is okay. I got some pretty good templates as myself. I got Castle Moat. I got Wars, which admittedly was pretty weird to work with, but I think I made something pretty fun out of Wars. Alright, we will just go along the line here. And hopefully not drown. Because floor and water in black and white can be a little tricky to read. Alright, we're almost there. I want to say you get like an extra block or two out of this. Oh, I saw a glider go down this path. Alright, good. I was a little worried it was going to come back and hit me in the head, but thankfully it didn't happen. Pretty fun level though. I mean, the block pushing part's a little bit bleh, but I think the glider part's easily the best section of this level by a long shot. Alright, Bounce City.
Bummer.
Instant death. I love it. This was a template I had, and it's kind of weird. There's some parts of it I didn't use. I didn't use this upper left section at all. I just used it for aesthetics, mainly. I just picked and chose which parts I wanted to work with. And I made City Slicker out of it. Oh, I love waiting for this. And they cram up so fast. Okay, I do remember there was a key exchange that you have to do. And that is Bounce City. Nice. Completely intentional. Nightmare. Another template I had. And I like that. You can stay in that trap, buddy. Let's just blow you up. And this trap button doesn't work properly because good old MS pulls through once again. That trap button also doesn't work. That one does. Alright, Nightmare done. Pretty cool level. Probably a little cooler in Link's though, because everything actually works properly. Chip is halfway through the world's hardest puzzle. If he succeeds, maybe the kids will stop calling him Computer Breath. No one ever stopped calling me that. Alright, Corridor. This level is amazing. Pretty on par with levels like Amsterdam. In terms of just, there's a lot of quality behind this level. It's fun to play. It's a block pushing level too, so the fact it's a block pushing level in CC1 and it's enjoyable is saying a lot. The thing that always stumped me was you having to push a block in the corner like that. Because the game never really teaches you about like sacrificing blocks to access others. It kind of teaches you to use every block if it's available. So to come to that realization of, oh hey, I need to actually waste that block to extract the rest of them. It's just pretty cool. Alright, so I got a 1 dot key and a 3 dot key, which I think the green dot one is the green key. I know 4 is yellow. And you can kind of refer to what the key colors are just based on how they're positioned in the inventory. Because the green key is always on the right hand side. The red key is always on the left. Blue is right next to red, and yellow is right next to green. But of course the game doesn't expect you to memorize that. That's why they have the dot system. Oh boy. Already over an hour in, and thankfully we are in the 70s now, so it's not going to take very long to get to 75. This is the last block I need. And also the decorative fire is like, it's a touch that doesn't need to be there, but the fact it is just makes it better. Yeah, let's just do that. And the decorative walkers as well is also a nice touch. Just a super solid level altogether. I love Corridor. It's easily top 5 for me and a lot of people. Reverse Alley, not so much.
Bummer.
Instant Death, I love it. Brings us up to 20. Alright, so this level I used for the very first level in Walls of CC1, Hall of Origin. It just felt like a good
Bummer.
pick. I totally fell for it, man. Fair and square, you got me. you got me good. Yeah, it just felt natural to be a level 1 candidate. Because I think Joshua Bone made the Amazing Vortex with Reverse Alley, which got into CC2 LP1. So it felt nice to make a super early beginner friendly level, and it just was perfect for a level 1 choice, in my opinion. Which is pretty cool. Alright, Morton is next. I'm just keeping my eye on the time, the video runtime. This level shouldn't take a long time. I always thought this was a really hard level as a kid, but it's honestly not that hard. You just have to know where to put the tooth monster. Or Morton, I guess. What a specific name they chose for that guy, huh? I mean, I guess it's better than calling him like Bob or Larry. Okay, we have to go this way. This is another template I had, and I didn't make anything spectacular out of it. I just made a very open key level. Okay, where can I go then? This whole path is blocked off. Oh, I missed this path. So the whole idea is you have to get Morton into this little hook right there. Okay. Okay, I don't want to let him out just yet. I want to get more of these appearing walls exposed. Because now I'm at that point in the game where I really need to start watching my death count skyrocket. Like, that whole victim charade was just so unnecessary. That could have been avoided, man. I just had to wait and I didn't catch on to it in time. Alright. So I think now we can let the guy out. Let's just go this way. Okay, so I just have to collect the 4 that he was guarding. Alright, so that's fine that he's right there. But I want to guide him this way. All right, with him hooked up, we can grab the rest of these ships that he was guarding. And we can exit the level, which I think is through this path. Alright, Morton completed. Playtime. Well, playtime is just about to be over, folks. I always liked breaking that little mechanism, getting them stuck like that. Alright, where's the other tooth monk? Where's the other chip? Right there. Ooh. That was a little spooky. But playtime is over. Just about. Alright, Steam.
Bummer.
I didn't even see the thief. Wow, I just walked right over that like it was a fire tile. Alright. Where does one go from here? I forget the pathing. I think it's this way. And it's not this way, is it? No. Did I really forget how to solve Steam?
Bummer.
I think I did. Yeah, I remember you have to go up that path. Yeah, this way. And then like so. Like that, okay. Weird. Yeah, I completely fell for the thief looking like the fire tile there. My bad. And I went the wrong way the second time around, so that's cool. But that is Steam completed, everybody, and that is another 25 levels down, with 13 more deaths added to the counter. About 4 or 5 of which could have been avoided if I just was not a silly person. So thank you all for watching very much. I had a lot more fun recording this than I did the Joshi video, I have to be honest, just because there was no OBS shenanigans happening. But this was a lot of fun. A lot of good levels. I mean, even Rink wasn't that bad. So, good progress, for sure. Next time we will start off with Fourplex, which is most definitely a CC1 level. And we will try to get to Colony, which is level 100. Hopefully. I don't think there's any huge hiccups in coming up. Oh, there is Writer's Block and City Block. Oof. Now that I mention it. Reaching level 100 is a little pushing it. We'll see. We'll just see how it goes. If I can handle Writer's Block and City Block in the same video, then we can definitely push it. But I think there's also Road Sign, which is pretty block heavy. There's Now You See It, which is a big invisible wall maze. And then I think those are the only 3 or 4 big hiccups coming up. Nothing after this immediately. We'll just see. We'll see how it goes. We'll just see. That's all I can really say. But thank you all for watching. I appreciate your time. Hope you have a good rest of your day. And until next time, we'll see you later.